Choosing a programming language, it's one of the biggest decisions you can make in tech. But what if the most important factors aren't the ones we usually talk about, like features or benchmarks? What if it's something hidden? Well, let's dive in and uncover the secret economic architecture that's really running our code.
We love to debate languages based on their technical pros and cons. Is it fast? Is it secure? What are the libraries like? And yeah, that stuff matters, but it's only a tiny piece of the puzzle. The real question, the one that can truly make or break a project, or even a whole company, is all about the total economic cost. So here's the thing. This cost isn't just one simple number. It's more like a hidden price tag that's attached to every single line of code you write. In this explainer, we're going to peel back that tag and look at the three fundamental things that make it up. Understanding these is absolutely key to making smarter decisions. Okay, first up, the one you feel almost immediately, development time. This is all about raw speed. How fast can you get an idea from just a sketch on a napkin to a real live product that people are actually using? For startups, for any new project really, this is often the only thing that matters. And you can see how this maps to what people are building. The fastest group, your Pythons and your Node.jses, they have these massive ecosystems and super flexible syntax. It lets you build and change things incredibly fast, which is exactly why they totally dominate the world of MVPs and prototypes. Then you've got your reliable workhorses in the middle, like Java and Go. And all the way at the other end, languages like Rust and C++. They make you be a lot more careful up front, but the trade-off is you get this incredible level of control. So let's move on to our second cost. This one, it's a bit sneakier. You don't see it right away, but it adds up month after month after month. I'm talking about operational cost. This is what you pay to actually run your software out in the wild. Your cloud bills, your server costs. It's the price of just keeping the engine running. And this is where a huge trade-off becomes really clear. Look at that. Some of the languages that are fastest to develop with, like Python and Ruby, often end up costing more to run. They tend to use more memory, more CPU, which means you need bigger, more expensive servers. But on the flip side, languages like Go and Rust are just built for efficiency. They're designed to just sip resources, which can literally save you a fortune on hosting, especially when you start scaling up to millions of users. All right, and that brings us to our third, and you could argue, most important cost of all, the human factor. Code doesn't write itself. You need talented people to build it, to maintain it, and to make it better over time. The cost of finding those people, hiring them, and keeping them on your team is a massive piece of this whole economic puzzle. Really, this just boils down to basic supply and demand. Languages like JavaScript and Python have these enormous global communities of developers. That means there's a huge pool of affordable talent out there. But if you decide to go with a more niche language like Rust or Elixir, that talent pool is a lot smaller, and they are in very high demand. The developers are incredible, for sure, but finding them and being able to afford them can be a serious challenge for the business. This chart just makes it so obvious, doesn't it? That high bar for JavaScript, that represents a massive, accessible ocean of talent. That low bar for Rust, that's a much smaller, more specialized pond. When you're building a team, you're not just picking a technology, you're picking which hiring market you're going to have to compete in. So, there you have it. Our three costs: speed to market, operational cost, and talent cost. And the most important thing to get is that there's no single best language. There's just no such thing. The right choice is always a balancing act. It's a series of trade-offs you have to make based on what truly matters for your project right now. Let's make this super concrete. For a startup trying to build an MVP, speed is everything. It's life or death. They will happily pay a bigger cloud bill later if it means they can launch in 2 months instead of 6. So they're going to pick something like Python or Ruby. But now think about a company building a core high-performance system, like a stock trading engine. For them, every single microsecond and every dollar saved on servers matters. They will absolutely accept a longer development time and a tougher hiring process to build it in something rock solid like Rust or Go. See? Different goals, different tools. So, what's the bottom line here? What should you walk away with? First, just start thinking about language choice as an economic decision, not purely a technical one. Second, always frame that decision around these three costs: how fast you can build, how much it costs to run, and how hard it is to hire. And finally, you have to consciously match the economic vibe of the language to the actual business goals of your project. Once you start thinking this way, it kind of changes how you see all of technology, doesn't it? The conversation shifts from which language is better to which language is the right financial tool for this specific job. So I'll leave you with this. Take a look at your own projects. Think about them. Are they built on the right economic foundation?